Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Welcome to my vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All right, so diving right into it. We all knew that the battle that Walt Disney Studios waged against the state of Florida was not going to end well. You know the old saying, I fought the law and the law won. I am not particularly excited when a government, whether it be the feds or a state government, get involved with something. But I'm also not a fan of when multi-billion-dollar corporations step in as well, and then they become the government. And that is exactly what was happening with Walt Disney. Their whole little Reedy Creek zone or whatever you want to call it. It was literally just another version of a city that they controlled. We know that they controlled all the resources, the utilities. So what happened was when Bob Chapek became CEO of Disney, he went against some legislation in Florida. Ron DeSantis said, "Hey, why should you get all this special treatment when you're kind of being a jerk?" So they went head to head and Disney pulled some nasty tricks, and then lo and behold, of course, the government won. Now, I know I was fully on the side of Florida in this time. There is no reason that Disney should have its own city. Universal doesn't have it. The mom and pop stores that are just independently owned, they don't get their own little zone around where their stores, even if they own that location, even if they own the property, they're not allowed to have their own zone. Now, a few people are like, "Oh, well, the timing is bad because it's Ron DeSantis going against them because of free speech." And please note, this is not an endorsement of Ron DeSantis. I'm not a Republican anymore. So whatever happens in the GOP, don't care. My whole point is, in this particular circumstance, I thought that Disney was in the wrong. They should not, no matter how big of a company they should not be allowed to have their own city with their own governments. And in this case, it was the right thing for Floridians to be able to get control back from the local level. So good for Florida for doing that. And no, I don't think it was a free speech attack. It should have happened years ago. And listen, I'm a fan of Walt Disney the man, but he should not have been allowed to have that sweetheart deal. That was just, again, because donations, right, to political parties, the bigger you give, the bigger you get. And it was corruption to the highest core. Now that the state of Florida has taken it back over, they're basically a tourism board, I think, has been established. Well, now they're starting to find out that there was more than just the surface level corruption of Disney being able to control their own thing. They would actually use this distribution center they have to launder out all kinds of things. Now, please note, everything here is alleged. I'm not a lawyer, so this is no legal advice. I'm just throwing out my own opinion of what I think was going on. So this is according to Stream. The Walt Disney Company effectively controlled the local government around the site of Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida for decades, in what an extensive review by the state government calls the most egregious exhibition of corporate cronyism in American history. After Disney bought the land, they would become its massive amusement park and resort. It received permission from the Florida legislature and governor in 1967 to create a local government, the Reedy Creek Improvement District. From that time until Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill February 27th, abolishing the Reedy Creek District, Disney heavily influenced local government to its advantage, according to a new report from the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. I guess that's what took over the area. The legislation signed into law by DeSantis, a Republican, transferred the Reedy Creek District into the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, which aims to root out what critics see as Disney's corrupt hold over the government. So what are some of the ways that they were corrupt? So Stream breaks it down really well. It says they would give complimentary tickets. The Reedy Creek Improved District provided employees, retirees, member of its board of supervisors, and certain VIPs with special access to Disney parks with internal document referred to as complimentary tickets. You can just see how that would work, right? So some VIP may be a celebrity, maybe a government official. It's time to vote. Maybe Disney wants a certain bill to go a certain way. They invite, and again, this is hypothetical, they invite certain legislatures and they give them complimentary tickets to see Disney World or to see Disneyland or to stay at the Disney Resort or to go on a cruise. and all provided by this Reedy Creek district. And then, of course, with the celebrities, oh, well, maybe we'll give a ticket to so and so will perform at one of our live shows, or just walk around and post on Instagram. Either way, that helps us. They also gave out other types of passes, such as park hop, which is what you do. So, like in California, it's not just Disneyland. They also have the California Park, which in my opinion, I actually kind of like the California Park better. The California Adventure Park, it's a lot more fun in my opinion, but I like both parks. But yeah, they were giving gifts and doing all these kinds of raffles and giving more tickets to VIPs, and they were saying that the Reedy Creek district paid over 713 grand on these tickets in 2013. By 2021, that amount had tripled to $2.15 million. Wow. And aside from that, they would also give all kinds of business. They would give certain employees special discounts, certain ones, right? They would give again, VIPs, politicians, celebrities, as it implied. They would get early access to Disney events, and they would hold special events, all kinds of really crazy stuff. It's according to Stream, they referred to it as the magic behind the magic. They would let certain residents, taxpayers, non-Disney guests, they would do all this, and Reedy Creek would just do whatever Disney told it. So remember, it's supposed to be independent, but we all know now Disney just controlled it. It was just out of control. It was corruption to the highest part. They say when DeSantis suggested that as governor, he would propose significant changes to the Reedy Creek Improvement District, the district reached out to Disney to collaborate on an incentive program to keep RCID employees from jumping ship. RCID's entanglement with Disney made it difficult for RCID employees to know where RCID responsibilities ended and Disney entanglements began. The Daily Signal has sought comment from the Walt Disney Company and will update the story of Disney responds. So I guess Stream reprinted this article from the Daily Signal. Wow. Why is anyone surprised? Honestly, why are they surprised? Disney ticked off both Democrats and Republicans when they got entangled in Florida's political situation. They shouldn't have done that. This is why Disney is in the state it is in. It's why it's pushing this diversity and inclusion and woke nonsense. It's because people are going, how are they still making money? Well, obviously it was because they were using Reedy Creek to sort of launder corruption from Disney to the right people. Again, allegedly. It seems pretty clear to me that Disney is in a world of trouble just when they don't need it. They've had seven box office failures in a row. Now, I remember growing up in the 90s and in the early 2000s, a Disney flop was almost unheard of. You might have heard of one or two every couple of years, like Treasure Planet. Despite being an amazing film, Treasure Planet failed at the box office, mainly due to marketing issues. Still, it's just crazy to think that there was a time when you were like, what? You would go, whoa, that Disney film flopped at the box office. Can you believe it? Nowadays, it's like, oh, yeah, there's another flop. What can you do? Another flop. This just goes to show you why big business is just as bad as big government, right? So they go hand in hand. In this case, Disney was the government. It wasn't when Bob Chapek decided to fight the power, fight the man, even though he was the man. He kicked over a hornet's nest, and now all this is being laid out. What you do in the dark always comes out in the light. One of my favorite law tubers, Robert Barnes, he says, if you're going to do something corrupt, always in cash, never in writing. And boy, did Disney lead a paper trail for everyone to see. It's now going full out in the open. That's why when people are like, oh, Disney's going to sue Ron DeSantis and all this is going to come out, it's like, yeah, on Disney's side. Like I said, I don't give a flip about Ron DeSantis. I don't give a flip about, Disney as far as it being this huge corporate overlord that has gotten control of some of my film franchises. And though I was initially optimistic, I have definitely changed my opinion of that over the years. And I'm glad all this has come to light. This is what wokeness breeds. Wokeness breeds corruption because you have to. Wokeness is corruption. It produces corruption. And now it seems like since the 60s, when this was first all established, this Reedy Creek district where Disney could have total control over this one little plot of land in Florida, we now know that it was nothing more than a scheme to keep Disney as powerful as they were. And listen, I don't want Disney to fail. I would love to see them go back to where they were during the Disney Renaissance, go way back. But, if it burned down, I also wouldn't be that sad because the Disney of yesteryear is gone, and maybe people are waking up to that. And I have a feeling more stories like this are going to come out, and we will see just how deep the corruption runs. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment and tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time, right here on Studio Jake.